Hello guys, and welcome to another video on my channel. In this one I'm going to show you another lap time challenge video, and this one I'm going to be showing you the circuit, the Spa-Franorchamps, or Spa as most people call it, and we are using some Group 1 that are available for this. It's not the whole Group 1, but the two main Group 1s you'll be wanting to use is the Porsche 919 Hybrid 2016 and the Audi R18 2016. Now, as you can see at the moment, I've got the number one time by 1,000, which is a 158.731, not 731, a 734. And honestly, this is one of my best laps I think I've ever done. I am so gassed with this lap. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. But anyway, without further ado, at least with a Porsche, if you go to the ECU section, the power doesn't really drop off. So what you want to be doing in this car is you want to be revving this car out as much as possible. I would greatly appreciate a like and a sub, and any comments in general as well, because honestly I am so happy with this lap. I've never felt more happy with a lap on this game. It's up there, it's one of my best laps I've ever done. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate a like and a sub as well, just to show you support, and I will carry on making these guides for you guys to help you out as much as possible, and comment if you're stuck with anything on this combo. But without further ado, let's go into my fastest lap that I did, followed by the detailed lap afterwards. So I hope you enjoy, guys. Thank you very much. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed the great lap that I just showed you. Sorry I'm hyping it up a bit, I'm just genuinely really happy about that. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the actual detailed lap. So the keyword for this is carrying downforce. Now I'm saying carrying downforce is because it is much better to brake early and then carry good apex speed than to go a little bit deep and not be able to go on the throttle and use the downforce slash aerodynamics to maximize the speed you can carry through the fast speed corners. Since it's Spa, there is a lot of medium to high speed corners, so you need to carry as much momentum in those corners as possible. But without further ado, let's get into the lap. So to start the lap, I want you to go out as wide as possible. And what I'm going to be trying to show you and trying to explain to you is I'm going to be taking a very wide line to start this lap, because you want to maximize the distance between where you are now and the start of the lap, so you can go across the start finishing line to start your lap with the highest speed possible. Now I'm planning to cross the finishing line around 126 or 127 mile an hour, and just which is just in time to upshift to 5th gear in this car. So I'm doing this last corner to start a lap around 38 mile an hour, and I'm going to initially go about 50% throttle, just get a little bit extra rotation, and as soon as my car starts straightening up, I'll be going 100% on throttle, and I'll be turning a bit less to make sure I don't get oversteer on this exit of a corner. Use all the exit curb, veer off to the left slowly, line it up like in a straight line. This is 100 marker. I'm braking about half a car length after it. It is better to stay in 5th and rev this car out than to upshift to 6th and then downshift straight away, because you're carrying more speed when you're upshifting to 6th, so you'll have to brake earlier. So it's better to rev out 5th and just let the car slow down as you start to brake. I'm going to go to the braking marker. So I start to lift here. As you can see, I am about half a car, well, it's a little bit less than half a car length past the 100 board, but you can brake half a car length after this 100 board. What you're going to be wanting to do is you're going to be braking a straight line initially, down to second gear. As soon as you go down second gear, you want to start turning into the corner, kind of like a V shape. So you go straight line, start turning a bit early, so you hit the early apex, which hopefully helps you rotate around the corner and minimize the distance. You want to be taking first corner around 47 mile an hour in the Porsche. In the Audi, it's very similar speed. So you want to just kiss the apex here. If you go on this green part of this curb, your car will bottom out a bit and you'll lose a bit of time on the exit. So it's better to get all your right wheels on this yellow and red part of the curb without going over the green part, in my opinion. 100% throttle. Be careful on the steering on the exit so you don't get too much oversteer and wheel spin. But you can plant the throttle on this car because it's 4-wheel drive, so you'll be able to go 100% throttle on pretty much every corner exit. Some corner exits you will have to be a bit careful with your turning input to make sure you don't get too much oversteer or too much wheel spin, and then you have to let the car stand. Anyway, next corner, this is 100 marker. I am braking as soon as I get to this curve here, so any second now. There you go, my ABS light is showing, and as you can see, I am literally lined up with the beginning of the curb. That is the perfect braking reference for this corner in the Porsche. With the Audi, it's about the same braking reference. You can maybe brake a tad later, maybe by this red part of the curb you can brake with the Audi, just because it's got more downforce. You can carry more speed in the corners, and it might have slightly better brakes as well. That I'm not sure on, but it's definitely got more handling. So here I'm braking at the start of the curb in the Porsche. I'm going to be braking a straight line. I might veer off a bit to the left to maximize the opening for the next corner. And you're going to be wanting to downshift to 3rd gear, and you want to carry about 88 mile an hour on the first apex of this chicane here. Try and get as close to these bollards as possible. What I would try and recommend to do is try to get your right tyres to hook onto this red and yellow curb to help drag around the corner, so you can open up the next part of the corner more and carry more apex speed. As soon as I get towards the exit, I go 100% throttle. As soon as my car has straightened up, I'll be turning straight to the left, and I'm going to be doing small trail braking, and I'm going to be downshifting to 2nd down to about 81, 82 mile an hour for this next corner. Again, you want to try and hook your tyres onto the inside red and yellow curb here. Like that. That is perfect in my opinion. As soon as you get to about here, about towards the exit of the left part of this chicane, you want to go full throttle in 3rd gear, and you want to carry on turning as much to the left as possible to open up the next part of the corner up. And you can go full throttle, no problem here. So as soon as I get towards this yellow and red curb, I don't go on it, but as soon as I get as close to as going on it as possible, I will be going to the right, and I'm going to play around with the throttle a bit. I want to go deep into this corner a bit, but I want to brake a bit and lift a bit so that I can go back on the throttle earlier. For this corner, I was planning to be around 102 mile an hour here. You saw the exit curb. Try and aim to get your left tyres on this green part of this curb here. If it's on this darker green Astro, you may get dirty tyres for this next corner, so try not to get your left tyres on there. Next corner, my braking lights just come on, but I'm braking about half a car length before the beginning of this curve. Again, as soon as I start to brake, I'm going to be turning it into the corner, and I'm going to be doing it in sort of like a V shape, sort of like turn 1, but a bit more here compared to turn 1. So I'm going to be turning to the right. You want an early apex, and then as soon as you hit the first part of the apex, you want your car to kind of coast around the corner down to around 63, 64 miles an hour. And by the time you get past halfway around the corner, you want to pick up a little bit of throttle to help carry a bit of downforce with this car to go fast around the corner without having wheel spin. And then as soon as you get towards the exit of the corner, you can then go 100% on the throttle again. This corner, it's quite hard to find a braking reference for this, but basically what I did is, it's depending on how quick you exited the last corner. I brake about halfway between these two red barriers here. I brake about here to be exact. You want to brake there, and you want to try to get your right wheels just on this curb. You don't want to be too much on this curb on the controller, because if you use too much of this entry curb, as soon as you go off the curb, the car will stop turning momentarily. So you won't be able to hit the apex, and you'll have to basically sacrifice the apex speed and the exit speed, and you'll lose tenths in the corner. So don't use all this exit curb here. Try to aim to have your right tyres go on about this part of the curb here. Basically where it's at this highest point, that's where you want your right wheels to be. So I've just started to brake here. Like I said, I'm not quite halfway between the red, but you can brake as late as there. But it's much better to brake earlier, because if you're touch wide, there's a little bump in the middle of a corner. If you hit down the controller, the car again will stop steering a bit, and you'll go wide, and you'll get dirty tyres for the next corner. So it's much better to brake early here and to turn in early here. This corner is aiming to be about 92, 93 miles an hour. Try to clip onto this red and yellow curb again, without touching this green part of this curb, because if you touch that green part of the curb, you're very likely going to touch this bollard here. You saw the exit curb without touching the ashtray. For this corner, very hard to pick out the time, but this barrier on the left side, the more laps you do, the more you'll notice it. But basically, as soon as it starts to get... So the beginning of it is quite dark, and then it'll brighten up a bit to white coloured. As soon as it goes back to the grey colour, that's when you want to do a small trail braking down to about 134 miles an hour. And you want to pick up the throttle as soon as possible in this car, because in high speed corners, if you put the throttle down, you've got more downforce and there's more grip by doing that. Again, use all the entry curb here to maximise the angle for the next corner, so you can carry more speed into it. I'm going to go frame by frame from about this point onwards until you start to see me brake, which is any second now. There you go. As you can see, as soon as in bumper cam it starts to get darker here, that's when you want to turn for this corner. And again, you want to trail brake slightly, and you want to kind of coast down to about 134 miles an hour. And then as soon as you're close to the inside apex / curve initially, then that's when you want to pick up the throttle. So just watch carefully. Carry on turning to the inside and minimise the distance, because this car has so much downforce. You can carry on turning. You carry on turning to the inside because you're not having to turn much, since this car has good downforce. So it's you only need to do light steering to stay on the inside of this truck. So it's worth doing that to minimise distance and get closer to the next braking zone, basically. Talking of next braking zone, I am braking. I'm going to go into walk mode here. I am braking between getting under this part of the sign here and the 50. I'm braking about here, just before the entry of this curve. That is my braking reference for this corner. So I'm going to fast forward. Well, not fast forward. I'm going to go frame by frame. I'm braking here. So I brake a touch. It's better to brake below this sign, actually, now I think about it. The braking reference I was pointing out was in the Audi. I was braking about here in the Audi. In the Porsche, you want to brake about here as you get under this sign here. You want to downshift quite early to third, as early as possible, just to get as much engine braking as you can do. And you want to hug the inside of this corner, because that's where the grip is in this corner. You want to go a little bit on the throttle as well to carry the downforce. I was planning to go, I believe, 92 miles an hour on this corner. Yeah, hug the inside here. As soon as you get towards the exit of this curb, you want to go 100% throttle, and you want to be about halfway between the left and right side at this point. As soon as you upshift to fourth, you're basically turning left here now, and you want to hug the inside again. Try to hook your left tires onto this part of this curb here, so past this yellow and red part of this curb, because it will help hook your car around the corner. This corner you want to be about 96 miles an hour, 97 miles an hour here. Pick up the throttle early to carry the downforce, use all this extra curb, and here, I'm going to go to race photos again. You want to brake about a car length after this start of this grass here. So I'm going to go frame by frame now. Any second now you'll see me brake. There you go. As you can see, I am just past the car length after the start of this grass here. That is the braking reference to this next corner. Brake in a straight line. As soon as you go down to third gear, I think it's second gear I go down to actually. As soon as you go down to second gear, you want to be turning to the right, and you want to be as close to the inside board as possible, because one, that's where the grip is, and two, you need to be extremely early on the throttle here, because you are flat out for the next 20 seconds or so from this point onwards. You want to carry about 80 miles an hour for this next corner here. So downshift second, go on this yellow and red curb here. As soon as you get past this bollard, go on the throttle in fourth gear and use all the exit curb without going on the Astro on the exit here. This is easy flat to get as close to the bollard as possible. And this is easy flat into the last chicane now. Easy flat. Don't need to F up to seventh, it's easy, it's quicker to stay in sixth. Last corner, I found it very, very difficult to find a braking reference for this corner. In fact, I kind of guessed it, to be honest. You can't really see it in walk mode. I'm actually going to point it out in real speed. So right here, you see the darker tarmac here. I go past the first darker tarmac and I brake in between the first darker tarmac here and the second darker tarmac here. It's probably very hard to see it in the video, but I'm braking halfway between the first darker tarmac and the second darker tarmac. Hard to notice it at the time, but the more laps you do it, the more you'll see it. I will go frame by frame until when I start hitting the brakes. So I hit the brakes about, it's any moment now I hit the brakes right here. So as you can see, I'm about, I'd say about 2 car lengths after this 150 sign here. Since you're going fast, it will come up very quickly, so be prepared to brake. This corner, I just missed the apex that I wanted to hit, but I still did it well and I carry good speed here. So you want to brake at this point here. You're going to be braking in a straight line, veer off a bit to the left to open up the angle for this last corner. I'm going to pause it right here. So as soon as you get off this curb here, so about a few car lengths before here, you want to start turning to the right here and you want to aim your car. I'm going to go to race photos here. You want your right tyres to be as close to this red curb as possible without touching it. Because on the controller, if you go over this curb and once you go back off it, your car will be momentarily in the air and the car will stop steering a bit. And you'll lose a few attempts by doing that on a controller. On a wheel, you can probably do that, but on a controller, you can't because it just stops steering for us for some reason. So you want to use all this curb here without touching this red curb here. So I just missed the maximum curb usage here. I could have turned it slightly earlier, but you don't want to be much more to the right than that. You want to exit this in first gear because you're not going to be revving out first before you start to brake a bit for this last corner here. So throttle here. As soon as you go full throttle here, you basically want to start turning to the left and lift off a bit. While you lift off and turn to the left, you want to upshift to second and you want to aim for about 48 miles an hour for this last corner here. And I forgot to mention, you want to aim for about 52, 53 mile an hour for the first apex of the chicane. For the second apex, you want to be about 48 mile an hour. Get as close to this red part of this curve again. This curve here will actually help drag you around this last corner a bit, so it's extremely important to hit this curve here. Right now, I'm actually still in first gear, but as soon as I click play again, you'll see I'll be going up to second gear and I'll be going full throttle here. Because I'm going full throttle in low gear, you're going to need to be extremely careful if you're steering input. You don't want to be fully turning to the left, but you want to still be putting about 80% turning input in. Be prepared to catch the rear as soon as you put the throttle down. Just be prepared to turn very quickly right and back to the left just to catch the little side you may get here. You saw the exit curve, stay to the right to minimize track distance. I'm right here to 1:58.734. Honestly, one of the best laps I've ever done on this game. I'm extremely happy with this lap. For me, there's maybe a 10-minute max for me. Over the course of a 2-minute-ish lap, that is a very good lap for me, and I don't think you'll see another controller player doing a better lap than this, at least without the motion steer. With the sticks, I don't think you can do much better than lap than this, which is why I'm extremely happy and proud to share this lap with you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to get a replay, how to see the two ways of the... Sorry, let me rephrase it one last time. I'm going to now show you two ways to see the replay of the lap I've just shown you here and how to get to this event in the first place. Loader goes to my lap time and data log my lap compared to your best lap. So I'll see you in the next clip, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and sub as well if you find this lap tutorial helpful. Thank you very much. Okay guys, the first way to see the replay of the lap I've just shown you, you can go to showcase on the bottom left of this home section. Go to content search, go to replays, put the keyword my name, Calster. It's probably the easiest way to find anything that I share. And then it will be the lap time challenge group 1 Spa, and I will say professional world record of 1:58.734. It will also say the best lap replay of the time I just mentioned. I recommend adding that to collection just to use that for data logging. To get to the event, and another way to see a replay of my lap time is you go to sport in the top right of this home section, and then you go to online time trials in the middle of the screen here, and then it'll be this one here, Circuit de Spa. It'll have this Fukuoka picture in the background with group 1 here, and here you go. Pick anyway, by the way, these are all the cars you can select. The two cars I recommend picking is the Porsche 919 and the Audi R18. Those two will be the quickest cars here by a long shot, just because of the downforce of those cars. Anyway, this is on Racing Softs, so if you don't have the Racing Softs equipped, buy your Racing Softs here and then equip it here. And go to qualifying time ranking and play the replay of my lap. That's another way to replay of my lap time. And to load it goes to my lap time, enter the event. And then go to ranking board over here, global ranking, load ghost here, so you can load ghost here, click on my name, load ghost, then go to settings, go to settings, ghost settings. I recommend having my ghost on and your ghost off if you want to follow my ghost only. And I'd recommend it to start 2 to 3 times ahead of you, so you can follow my braking points and my racing lines and my throttle timing. And I'd have it reset after each sector. So there's 3 sectors around this track. It would reset here, here, and of course at the start of the lap here. And then you can data log my lap compared to your best lap. So for example, you can data log my best Audi R18 lap here, which is a 1:58.9, compared to my best Porsche lap here. And then you can quickly see the lap time difference between the two here. So I'm going to zoom it all the way in here and all the way in here. Then you can see the car differences between the two. You can see the Porsche out accelerates the Audi because I'm gaining time on it. Look at the speed. The yellow is the Porsche. I'm going faster than the Audi at this point. But by the time you'll get to the end of this straight, the Audi will start to gain some time back because it's got better top end compared to the Porsche here. But Sector 2 onwards is where the Audi shines. So this is where you start to see the Audi gain some time back compared to the Porsche a little bit. However, the lap I'm showing you in the Porsche is a lot of a better lap compared to my Audi lap. However, I do think those two are very, very similar in performance compared to the other. So these lines you can look at is basically as soon as the line starts to descend, that's when I'm starting to brake or lift off the throttle. At that point, you can judge whereabouts I'm braking on the track compared to you guys. And then the lowest point of this line is the rough apex speed I'm taking each corner. And as soon as it starts to go up, it's when I start to pick up the throttle again. As you can see here, the Audi has gained some time back on the Porsche here. But from this point onwards is where I start to shine on this Porsche lap. So I got a good exit with the Porsche here. However, I do think the Audi has better top end, as you saw at the end of the Sector 1, and it is better in the faster speed corners. So you would have noticed in P1, for example, the double left in the middle sector, the Audi was able to claw back some time compared to the Porsche, just because it was able to carry a lot more speed around the P1 corner. But for the last chicane here, for example, I was able to make a bit later in the Audi, carry a bit more speed. However, because of the different lines we took, and because of their Porsche acceleration, I gained time compared to the Audi on exit here. And that is why I was over 2.5 tenths quick. I was 2.5 tenths quick in the Porsche compared to the Audi. And that is how you can use data logging to compare lap times between the top guys and you guys. So you can find out where you are losing time compared to the top players, for example. I've shared my replay so you can easily collect my time on the leaderboard and compare my lap compared to you guys. But without further ado, I hope you enjoyed and found this lap guide helpful. I would greatly appreciate a like and a sub, like I've already mentioned a couple of times. I would love to do more guides for you guys. I genuinely love doing these videos because I genuinely enjoy helping you guys as much as possible to help you progress through this game. So without further ado, leave any comments if you've got any questions on the lap guide as well, and I'll answer to the best of my ability as always. But without further ado, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you found it helpful. A like and a sub would be appreciated, and without further ado, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Good luck with it. I recommend doing multiple laps to start off with, just to get into a flow, but without further ado, see you later. Au revoir.